Hello and welcome back to another episode of Bantz with Lawrencia. For today's episode, it's going to be a reaction video to some of the videos I've been watching online. Now, hey, abroadians, Nigerians living in diaspora, both men and women, they've been complaining about their relationship. Like there are so many cases of marriage breakup, divorce, separations, and what have you. Now, the major thing that is happening is most men who go to Nigeria to marry wives, they bring them here with the, one of the reasons why they go to Nigeria to marry wives, let's start from there, is because they feel that women in diaspora that, their eyes don't see it. They want women that they can control. They want some of these people actually go to the villages to marry, just to make that clear. So they don't want people that are exposed. They don't want women that can challenge their authority. They basically want to marry their mothers. Some of these people come from homes where their dad never did anything. They just sit down, cross their leg. The women cook, clean, take care of the kids. Some of these men, all they see their dad do is to provide for the family. And when we're talking about providing for the family, it's not like, these men, they are bringing truckloads of money. They are bringing the bare minimum, but they will not allow their wives to do something substantial because they feel that the man is supposed to be the breadwinner. So regardless of the wife's qualification, most of these people actually make their wives housewife. So this is just a background to give you some kind of context where these men are coming from. So when they travel and they want to marry, they look at women in diaspora. I mean, these women are working, earning money. So they think, okay, I cannot control this woman because it's, for them, control is all about being the provider. To be the man is all about providing for the family. And they look at these women and they're like, okay, these women, they are already providing for themselves. So I don't have that control over them. So what they do is they go back to Nigeria. They feel, some of these people, they've traveled for a long time. So they think, they don't understand that this generation now, we grow up on social media. We see things on social media. So even if you're going to the village to marry somebody, there's a 99% chance that this person has been on social media, on Facebook, on Instagram. They have seen the lifestyle. So you thinking, okay, they are still raw, unrefined, or they just go to the villages to marry these people thinking they are going to have that control over them, and they bring them here, and these women are like thinking, I've been on social media, I've been on Facebook, I've seen that women can work, women have rights, and then you're trying to put them in a box. Some of these women, they don't agree with it, and most cases this bring a whole lot of abuse, brings a whole lot of violence in the family, and the marriage, the women, some of them actually end up leaving the house because some of these women are not enlightened. And what they do is actually, when they marry these women, they actually cage them. They don't allow them to mix. They will tell you, don't go out with these women in abroad. They are all this and they are all that. They are all single mothers. They don't like family. They will cook up stories and give these women. So these women try to avoid people. So when they actually go out there and see that things are not the way that their husbands are portraying them to be, some of them go to shelter, leave the marriages, go to shelter, and from there start building their lives. Some of these women, the one that are educated and the one that have children, they actually stay, or maybe they met somebody who actually advised them. They stay, fight for the properties, and when marriages end, if you have children, the authorities, they are not just going to throw your wife and kids out of the house just because you're the one that bought the house. They are going to consider the kids first. So the man is going to be the one to leave the house. And some of these cases, the men don't allow their wives to work. So even after leaving the house, they will be the one to be paying the rents or the mortgage, if that is the case. And these men, they've been coming out and they've been complaining. They've been complaining online. Oh, my wife kicked me out of the house. Oh, my wife, I brought my wife from Nigeria, and then now she has connived with people, single parents. They've advised her, and now she is now living in my house. Now I am now living on the street while I am still paying the bills, I am still paying the rent. Like, there's been so many videos. Now, I want to be fair because, we talk about men not speaking out. We talk about men always being quiet. And boy, they've been talking. I think it's gotten to a point where, nobody that, like, anybody that is going to Nigeria right now to marry a wife thinking, I am marrying somebody who is going to be submissive. I am marrying somebody who is a traditional African or Nigerian wife. It go shock you. It go shock you because it's a globalized world. Everything that is happening, people stay on social media, and remember, everybody in diaspora is sharing their stories online, on Instagram, on TikTok, on Twitter, on Facebook. So even if you think they don't know anything, the reality is they even know more than us, because by the time you watch 5-6 people tell their stories, in fact you have more information than somebody that is just living in diaspora and just living on their own terms. Now, when they put all these stories together, they have an idea even more than some people in diaspora. So if some of these men are going back home to date or married, of course they are going to be submissive at first, because everybody now is trying to jackpot from Nigeria. So there's nobody that you're going to go and meet now that will tell you that will not basically kiss your ass until you get married to them and until you bring them over. Now, listening to all these, men complaining online, I can literally categorize them into 2 categories. The one that go to Nigeria to, marry their wives, they take credit card, they marry them, bring them over, and what they want to do is for these women to actually help them pay off these bills. Because, it's not cheap. It's not cheap going to Nigeria to marry a wife and bring them here, or marry a husband and bring them here. So as long as they're concerned, some of these women complain that these men, they work and all they do is just to give this man the paycheck, and the man just give them maybe £100 per month from their hard-earned money. But one thing they don't understand is it's not cheap to go to Nigeria and marry somebody. Now, I think there's a break in communication there, because even if the man is telling the wife that he took some loan, maybe roughly £10,000 to process her documents and bring her over, and she needs to work to pay off that to pay off that debt, that woman is not going to understand, because according to her, you live in diaspora, you should have the money to process my documents, you should have the money to bring me. So why am I coming to work and pay all these things? So resentment comes in that aspect, because as far as they're concerned, they are coming here to elevate their family situation, help them, work, get money, send back home, just the way you've been doing since you're here. So everybody has an agenda. Everybody has a plan. So if you're now marrying somebody's daughter or somebody's son, and then you're thinking that they're going to fit into your perfect plan of helping you pay out loans, it's not going to work. It's not going, unless you have a very understanding person, unless you've had open conversation with that person to let them understand. Even when you're having that open conversation, do they understand? Most times people need to live through situations for them to really understand. It takes very few percentage of these people understand what the men or the women are trying to explain to them, which is why very few actually work through their differences and get, over the line. Now, the next category are men who come into this country. They've been doing security, they've been doing Uber driving, they don't do anything beyond that. They work long hours, they work long shifts, double shift, triple shift, just to get some money. And during their younger years, maybe these people coming when they were in their mid-20s, early 30s, and now they're in their 40s, and they realize that, okay, I cannot do this for the rest of my life. I need somebody that is going to help me. So they go to Nigeria, they marry younger women, they bring them here, they pay for their nursing education, they go to school, and when they were doing all this, when the women are going through all this educational process, these men are still doing their Uber driving, these men are still doing their security. They are not even ready to have any, improve themselves. as far as they're concerned, their wife is their retirement plan. So these women, when they were going to all these schools, they are kind of taking, although yes, they are still having children, they are taking care of the family, they are doing everything, while the man, all his responsibility is just to go out there, work and bring money, while the woman is going to school, working, taking care of, she's doing a lot. And these men will not even come back home to try and even help with the kitchen or help with the kids. Some of these men will not even take their children to practice, because as far as they're concerned, that is your job, And when these women actually go through all this, get qualifications, start working, these men still expect her to do all these things that she's been doing. And when she cannot do those things, or when she require more from them, help with your children, or help with the food, or help with cleaning, they say, she has changed since she got a job, started working as a nurse, or started working in IT. She has changed. She no longer have respect since she bought Range Rover. Since she started earning more than I am, she has changed. She did not change. You refuse to change. You refuse to move with time. And if that woman now decides to leave the house, or, because most time what happens is, when these men, when they are working, earning money, all their investment is going back to Nigeria. They're not even thinking about their children's future, how they are going to pay for education, but they are busy paying for everybody back home. They are busy building houses. They are busy playing gods in Nigeria. So when these women, they see all these things, some of them will even try to make their husbands invest. Some of them will even try to make their husband buy properties. But these men will say, no, it is Nigeria. They are investing in Nigeria. They cannot come and invest in the UK, so that they will have issues, and then they will move out of the house. So 90% of the time, the burden falls on the woman to save money and buy a property, because she knows the value of, investing in diaspora. But these men, they know that if anything happens, there's more likely that the woman would, and the kids will be in the house. So they don't even want to do all this investment. Now, when the woman actually go to school, get all this qualification, start working, save money, and get a mortgage, of course, the man is still going to be there as long as he's the thing is, these men are happy to pay rent. But once it comes to mortgage, they feel entitled. Most of these men, what they complain about is the house, is actually the house. Let's say if they were in a relationship or marriage, and then they were renting a place and you're paying bills, you're paying the rent, they will not have any problem with that. As long as everybody is just going empty-handed, they don't have issue with that. But once these women are able to save money, get a mortgage, and then you're still, the bills, in fact, you're paying less bill than you're going to pay when you're renting. And then, when that relationship or marriage ends and the man has to move out of the house, these are the men that come online and complain. Ask them, is your penny in that house? They will start giving you all sorts of story. Yeah, I was paying the rent. For her to be able to save that money, I was the one paying the rent. I was the one doing this. I was the one doing that. Nigerian men need to start thinking. As it is going to continue, it's not going to end. We are going to always see people complaining online, women that were brought from Nigeria complaining about the situations that their husbands are putting them through in this country, and also men who are going to be complaining about they brought women from Nigeria and they did them dirty. It is always going to be there. What I always tell people is, regardless of the relationship you're in, regardless of the marriage you're in, improve yourself. If there are two people that, okay, husband is busy doing Uber, doing security, relaxing, and the wife is busy doing menial jobs, cleaning and all that, they fit each other. Because these two people have resigned their faith in living in in the bottom end of the spectrum, no problem. But if you're married to somebody that that person goes to school, gets skills, learning different things, and then progressing through the career ladder, and then you're just there sitting down, you're just doing security. Listen, I don't have any problem with security. I don't have any problem with Uber drivers. But if you are going to marry a woman that is going to progress and you are just there, you have to be ready to kind of, and at that point she will be paying most of the bills. So you are not going to have that traditional family where you're just going to go to work and then come back and sit down. No, you have to contribute other ways. You have to help maybe with the children, you have to help maybe with the house, you have to help maybe with see, as long as you're willing to help, maybe you can even decide, okay, she says that you're not even cleaning this house properly, just stop doing it. Or but that's, you have made that effort, you have shown that you want to help. There will not be that problem. But when you're sitting down, you come back after driving your Uber, you come back, cross your leg, and she has gone to work, maybe IT, nursing, she has earned twice as much as you've earned, and she's coming back, going into the kitchen, picking the children from school, cooking for them, doing their homework, trying to run around, put them in bed, and you're just sitting down, crossing your leg. That relationship is not going to, that marriage will crash, and you're going to leave that house and you're going to come back online and complain about it, whether man or woman. That is the situation. So my point here is, regardless of where you are, whether Nigeria, whether in diaspora, and as long as your partner is improving, try and improve with your partner. You get why? So that one day you not come and tell a story that touches the heart. You will not come and be complaining that this is what, after 20 years of my life, this is what I got from this man, or this is what I got from this woman. Let us have sense. Let us have sense. Anyway, thank you very much for watching today's episode. Please like, and share. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.